for about 4 years. My history is 12 years IT and telecom, and the World Trade Center invented my slogan for the presentation. They say whatever it gets, or like whatever you need to do for it. That's kind of what I do for 12 years. As an IT entrepreneur, I started serving small, medium business companies, the butcher on the corner, and other small, medium businesses in helping their IT solutions a long time ago. I switched to telecom because I kind of saw a lot of more possibilities in voice over IP, calling over the internet, Skype, video phones, video conferencing, etc. So I chose to educate myself in telecom. I started the company to make sure that all the SMEs companies in Zeeland had my telecom solution, and that was with a couple of suppliers that I was not so happy about. So as I am myself at that moment, I just changed my supplier again to myself. So that's what I kind of all the time do. So I said, okay, this is not working. I will become my own supplier. So I moved from retail market to reseller market. And I contracted a lot of IT companies. I don't even know if some of them are here in the room. Like, I hope maybe not, maybe yes. After that, I wasn't so happy with my wholesale provider, so I said, okay, let's become a wholesale provider and start helping all the IT and telecom distributors to have a worldwide network. So I worked with my telecom company in over 35 countries, and I started developing my software in Lithuania. So this is how I was already a couple of times in Lithuania, from Rotterdam officially. And one of the first steps to east of Europe, and I say east of Europe because I think all people from the Baltics know that there is some press release that we don't belong to east of Europe. So please don't come to our countries and say that we are east of Europe. We are not east of Europe, we are officially north of Europe. Okay, it's kind of an offense. Because Ukraine is east of Europe. Nobody from Ukraine, I hope. So basically, we started developing in Ukraine, had some programming issues. People didn't want to give the source code. You made it within the time that I paid for it, but no, it's still mine. License keys in there, all kinds of IT trouble. So we said, okay, what would be the ultimate dream? What if I would have an international company, Dutch company, living in east-north of Europe? Because you have like quite of a nice income, your company's running everything, living in a country that's 3 times cheaper as the vodka you just got. We buy the same one, it's just 3 times, like 1/3 of the price. So I said, okay, I see myself one day living in East and having the income of my international companies. So I said, okay, we needed new software. We were looking for new developers and ended up in Lithuania. It was, to be honest, actually a coincidence. But 3 years later, a couple of months, I sold my wholesale telecom company. And they said, okay, you need to stay, buyout procedure, you need to stay 6 months in the Netherlands, going to all the places and help everybody to get used to your software. And then you need to go 6 months to Lithuania to stay there, to help all the programmers change the logos and change all the stuff that the company wanted to change. So I said, okay, I do that. And then my accountant was pretty clear to me. She said, you are really stupid, to say it nicely. She didn't say it so nicely. You're really stupid if you are not going half a year and 1 day. Because then you can choose which taxation system you want to use. I will explain later, Lithuania is kind of a lot better than the Netherlands. So I said, okay, I will go 6 months and 1 day. And that made me the only immigrant in 2016 officially moving out of the Netherlands, moving in to Lithuania. And that's where the adventure begins. What I really liked personally about Lithuania, my private life as well, is it is amazing nature and relaxing environment. The people are extremely nice. I went there on a business trip. It's a little bit different than Latvia because there's still a lot of evening work with colleagues and investors and people. So I went there and they took me into a car and they said, okay, let's drive 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and here's an amazing castle in the middle of the forest and everything is quiet, and let's have a picnic, and oh, there's fireworks because everything is legal. it was for me such an open-minded idea being in Rotterdam, where you have plates do not sleep here. Like everything in Netherlands is rules. Here we don't have rules. You can barbecue in the forest if you don't put the whole fucking forest on fire. That's the rule. If you do that, you have a large problem. But if you don't, just barbecue. So the nature and the respect for nature is highly. Second thing, it is freezing cold. So in the whole winter, which takes about 6 months, we left with snow last week. So it's already having a little bit of snow. We have like 6 months of winter. So what do friends do? They come together, but not outside. It's minus 26 in the worst 2-3 weeks of the year. So at that moment, basically everybody is in the whole ski gear, and you go to your friend, and there's coffee places everywhere if you don't want to break into their home. But if you know each other a little bit better, you break into their home and you sit with 20 people, shisha pipe in the middle, and you have fun. So that's why we all have funny socks, because shoes don't matter, you take them off anyway. So everybody has different socks. It's more important than a tie. So I'm sorry I left that one at home. So remember that there's just 3 million people in the whole country and 300,000 in the city. So I can really not walk from one side of the city to another side of the city without meeting anybody I know. You always meet people that you know on the streets. So it's pretty nice. The cool thing, it's one of the only cities, I'm not going to do commercials for Lithuania, but it's a fact that you can use an air balloon to go over the city itself, which is illegal in the rest of the world. So it's pretty cool, and it's a very small town where people really enjoy summer and hate winter, but they hate it together. So that's good. Do they speak English? As I said, I'm honest. My warning in Lithuania is always, watch out, you're going to do business with a Dutch guy. And they know at that moment that the weed should be good and that you really need to make sure that we are honest and we are open and we are really going to say what we do. So, do they speak English? If you look to the Lithuanian flyers and listen to the lawyers, yes, they do, but actually they don't. Everything under 35, it's fine. It's not perfect. If they don't have English experience, if they work in a Lithuanian company, it's fine. It's YouTube fine, YouTube level, like 6-year-old Dutch guy. Over 35, it's okay, it's getting better, it's improving. I don't say it's bad, it's improving. But the problem is, everything you don't need as a tourist is terrible. So if you need your car repaired, if you need a new license plate, if you need a new health insurance, if you need anything that the tourist doesn't need, there is no English. So that's a warning. So one of my tips that I will give later as well, but I will spoil it already, is if you do business in any of the Baltic countries, hire one person 1 day before you start. And it needs to be a local person. Because that saves you a crazy amount of money and a crazy amount of stress and other stuff. So how about real estate? I think living there is amazing. The nature is great, the people are great, and the prices are great. So this is part of the dream. We live in 110 square meter, huge loft, 5th floor. There was no 5th floor. It was 4th floor, old building. We just built it 5th floor. It's huge, jacuzzi, rain shower, the whole shebang. 110 square meter, two bedrooms, because sometimes somebody wants to visit, 900 euro. And we got it for 750 because it's a friend. That's what you pay in Lithuania, being in the middle of the city center, having an amazing apartment. So living there is great. Doing business there is also great. To be honest, when I was there 4 years ago, it wasn't that developed on business, real estate-wise. But we have many places where you can work, flex work, where there's like buildings. We now have 5 locations of Regis. I know World Trade Center is thinking about, and we are talking sometimes about there should be a World Trade Center in Vilnius as well. So there is more and more places where you can work together, where you can rent a 20, 30 square meter room for your first 4 people. So there's more and more opportunity to do that in the last 1-2 years. But what I think is very important for you guys to know, some IT sectors, some other sectors, if you want to really build up your company in Lithuania, it's really a support country. So it's not such a specific country for specialists. We see a lot of companies like Barclays, Western Union, Uber, all the big countries. If you call them, you will get Lithuanian person that speaks English. So there's a lot of support systems, a lot of huge buildings full of support. All the Nordic banks are in Lithuania. All of them have their call centers, support centers, they're all in Lithuania. So it's really a support country. And that's because also the people are really nice. So I sometimes call it, I don't know if they like it, but it's like the European version of India, where people can hire European people, where you can fly yourself indeed in like 1-2 hours. You are in your second office instead of going to India and having all the troubles. I know a lot of IT guys. I don't know, you look like IT guys. So when it's IT guys, I just look to you guys. Okay, if it's not true, just tell me. So I know a lot of IT companies that are that had a lot of personnel in India. And I asked the owner, have you ever been to India? Have you ever been to Pakistan? Did you ever go there? And I said like, no, but I have like 400 people there. It's like, how do you know? Are they actually living there, or did you just hire LinkedIn profiles? You don't know. So Lithuania, my personal accountant actually chose to fire her 3-4 people in India and hire just 2 people in Lithuania, little bit higher salary, little bit better quality, and just a flight away. Now that can be very interesting for you to know. Salaries, just an idea, it's low, I don't know if everybody can see it, just an idea, minimum salary 420, it went up, it was like 350, so minimum salary about 420 euro, and people talk about in hands, so netto, in Dutch netto. On top of that, calculate about 35-40%, first to go netto to brutto and then some extra fees. Good people start from 700 euro. And management level starts from 1200, which is still almost a third of the price that we pay in the Netherlands. So it can be it's just a flight away, and it can be very interesting to look into that. But it's not always that amazing as the flyers tell you. They told me as well, it's 5 days to open a company. It ended up into 5 months. So I also said it is going to be honest and open. They changed the flyers, actually. They took about all the flyers away because I hit the newspaper, because it's just 3 million people. So if you do something, you hit the newspaper. It's quite easy and fun. So basically, within 5 weeks, we had the first company. And then you come with, well, we are an investment firm. We have American investors. That's a really red flag. Then we have like a holding structure, and the other person also has a holding structure. And then we want the holding structure together. And then we want some working companies. 5 months later, we had what we needed. Because you open a company, notaries, Lithuanian, everything in Lithuanian. So it's like opening a UAB, which is a BV here, is like 74 pages that you need to sign. I counted them once. So it is still a lot of using. It's like an old country, but it's getting also better and better. For Lithuanians first, and then they think about the other one. So as an example, what is the business cost and stuff around it? Starting capital of UAB can be from 2,000 euro, about 700 euro lawyers and notary. Salary is in hands plus 40%, so you just have an idea. The cool thing, what I personally really like, is that in Lithuania everybody pays 9% social security from their salary. So if you get a lot of salary, you pay a lot. And if you're getting this little minimum salary, you pay not so much. But everybody is insured. So if you look into living there, you're more than welcome to check it out. You don't have your zorgverzekering, your social insurance anymore. It's included in your salary. So it's pretty nice. They pay everything from it. We don't have road taxes. We don't have other extra taxes. So it's really good for the people living there to be insured and have everything. Other thing, I think you guys cannot see it, but it says pay salary after the end of the month. As an entrepreneur, I always was thinking it's so cool in the Netherlands for the employees to get paid before they finish their work. And my dad was working for 35 years in ExxonMobil, so then you can maybe get something. He got paid on the 23rd of the month, before the month was finished. Already his salary. That's crazy. So in Lithuania, it's 15 days after the month is finished. So you work and then you get paid, which is normal. So I'm really happy they do that. To be honest, nice companies don't directly go for 14 days. Don't be Dutch. Okay? So don't go directly for I will pay you after 15 days. No, 7 days is the norm. and your accountant will tell you that, but it's at least after the new month. Other good thing, if you're a startup, you can hire 20 people. You have 6 weeks to make it work, and then you need to pay them. So it's really good to, if you start, if you try it out, if you start, you can do a lot of that. But it's, in my opinion, it's quite a new thing. So what I already said, hire on day -1 a local person. It is probably a person for 450 euros. So plus a little bit of taxes, 700 euros. She will drive you around, she will speak the local language, she will know the firms, they will know her, and it's just, or him. It's very modern to have a him, but you can also have a girl. They are nice, really nice. So it's very, very important to, in my opinion, to have a local and to say, you are going to help me to start up everything, and you will stick a couple of months around, and then you can be my office manager. So it's really, it's my best tip. The only thing that you can remember from today, if you do that, I believe you, it's going to be a little bit better. But unfortunate for many entrepreneurs, I don't think you guys like paperwork. So that's why we try to outsource it. But in this country and in other Baltic countries, because I travel to the other ones as well, it's just still, compared to the Netherlands, it's still a lot of paperwork. Paperwork, everything. Coffee machine, paperwork. Scanning machine, paperwork. Whatever, everything, paperwork. At least 10 pages. And if you want it English, Lithuanian, you will get it double. So you get the half of the paper is English and half of the paper is Lithuanian. It makes it at least 20 pages for renting a coffee machine. Everything is paperwork. So just get used for that and give it to your first local employee, because she will fix it, or he. So that's kind of what you pay for it. Other thing, because I am Dutch and I did 10 years of business first in the Netherlands, and then I went there and I countered this problem. So that's why I would like to share them with you, because I think you can learn from that and don't make the mistakes that I actually made. One of the things is pay on time. It's very, very, very important for Lithuanian people, and maybe also in the other Baltic states, I don't know about this one, to pay really on time. And Dutch people are really bad in paying on time. Because we try our supplier, hey, I need to pay within 30 days, let's try 31. Oh, he doesn't complain, let's try 32. Come on guys, who doesn't try? Let's try 33, and at 37 they start to complain. Okay, for this supplier we now pay in 37 days. It's how most companies and financial administrations do it. If you don't know it, ask your own guys, because they probably do it. Here you have a public company profile, and everybody checks it, because they search your company name and the website is stronger than your own. And all the government things that you need to pay, if you're 1 day late, it's on there. And it stays on there forever. I can check if you're 10 years ago was €6 too late on your social security payment. It will stay there forever, and it is like the company public rating, and your name as a director is straight connected to that. So they search you or they search your company, they can see everything. So it's a small country, so they can monitor everything. So every tax payment, always on time. Every UWV payment, Sodra it's called there, always be completely on time. Be too early, because it will be registered, it will be forever there, and every new supplier is going to make a contract with you, and they will say, 30 days. But I see that with my other people, you're always late. So I'm going to make it 20, and it's non-negotiable. And then your hard date is going to be 20 at that supplier. So really, don't mess it up. I was Dutch, I did Dutch business, and I made this mistake a lot. Saying like, it can be next week, it can be after the weekend. Too late is too late, and you have a problem. The government also has an auto incasso on your bank account. So it's like open. You need to pay them something, you're 1 day late, 2 days late, you get a warning, 7 days late, they just take it. So forget about the Dutch rules about, okay, we are going to sue the Belastingdienst. No, they just take it. If it's not enough, they just freeze your account, you will be in minus, and you need to top it up before you can use it again. And then you will be late for other stuff, and you have more problems. So be on time, make sure your balance is enough, and always pays the government first in this country. So yeah, frozen bank account, and of course directly fines and all the stuff and things that you have. Also, last thing, the system for VAT stuff really improved, but it's a general system, and it's really every ticket needs to be an invoice. So forget the little bonnetjes. You can all throw them away. They're not deductible anymore. You need a business invoice, full blown with all the details on it. All of them in your administration every month to your accountant, every month to the government, and every month pay on time. And all the other ones, just throw them away. It's cheap anyway. So that's important. If you think that you can get VAT return, forget it. It's 2 times a year within 6 months. And it's so much paperwork because it's not an electronic system that you can forget to get any VAT back. So if you are going to do VAT and try to make it lower, no, you can forget that. So this is just a tip from which is quite recently, and it's just good to know. And sometimes it is this strange. They update one system to make it super transparent, and they forget the other system, which gives you like a box of paperwork to do a VAT return. And it's just 2 times a year. So I go completely mad. If you know me at that moment, I go completely crazy. Because in my opinion, it's not honest. I need to pay every month and I cannot get back every month. So when that's not clear, in the Netherlands, we stand up, we fight. We say like, no, it's not real. Here it is just the government's always right, and otherwise they freeze your bank account. So it is, the government should be your friend. Luckily, it's a very small government, and there's one restaurant where all of them go. So just go there as well sometimes, shake some hands, be happy, and a smile says more than anything else. Now, if you have any ideas of starting up a company, it's kind of a funny joke, but my business cards are here. I can always be of some advice, or at least point you in some directions, because we have a notary, we have an accountancy, we already have a law firm here presenting today, and we actually know their Lithuanian partners as well. So if you need some direction, just send me a message. Invest Lithuania is a great Lithuanian company that's built by the government. So they do something really good as well, because it's really a company. They have KPIs and they don't run like a government agency. They are a business, and they get Uber to Lithuania. They get Western Union to Lithuania. They do really good things. If you come to Lithuania, even thinking about doing business in Lithuania, go to Invest Lithuania. You will get an account manager, and that person will drive you around, show you the offices, show you the business, show you whatever you need. They don't advise, but they bring you wherever you need to be. Startup Lithuania is their little brother for Lithuanian startups. So if you want to do something in collaboration with them, they also work together. So you are in hands of Invest Lithuania. Startup Lithuania helps the startups from Lithuania, and you can work together. You get freelancers very easily. You can get co-working space very easily. So this is really, really helpful. Financial startups are really, really welcome in Lithuania. The Minister of Finance actually calls Vilnius the next London of Europe, because they lower just all the regulation. So it's so easy. So they just say, all the fintech companies, Brexit is going to happen anyway. So if you want to still have a headquarters in Europe, come to Vilnius. And you get 5 years no taxes, you get 3 years no taxes on this if you are staying in this economic area, and blah, blah, blah. They have all kinds of beautiful deals for those companies. I think maybe the country in 5 years is going to collapse because the business deals are over and everybody moves out, but that's another guess. So fintech is more than welcome, and cryptocurrency, blockchain is huge in this country and also in Tallinn. So Tallinn is really welcome to fintech, and Vilnius is also doing a lot there. Last thing, in almost all the Lithuanian companies, you literally have a crazy amount of shareholders. And it was a mind-blowing thing for me, because they are broke, but they have shares. So everybody, if you are a 5 years employee, you get shares. If you are doing a startup together, 20 people have shares. But if you want to do business with those companies, you get 20 signatures, because they all have a vote and they have another vote, and we want to make things together. We need to make an appointment, blah, 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 blah. So check, and that's the cool thing about the public system. There's one director, which is the CEO, and then you have a lot of shareholders. They are mostly not public, but you just need to ask for it, please. Because at that moment, if you get a shareholder list of 2 pages, you know that your business is going to be really difficult with this company compared to another company with 2 or 3 shareholders. Finding a company with 1 is very rare. So that's just different than Netherlands. Very short on taxes, 15% profit tax for companies, 15% dividend tax. So the other little tip that I want to give you, most people hire themselves as a director for minimum salary. They wait till the end of the year, they take money out, money out, money out, they pay 15% of dividend taxes. So your employees, of course, you pay a little bit more, but for yourself it's just 15%. So that's pretty good. If you have multiple companies, 10 hours is accepted. If you have one company, just do 40, it's 400 euro. So you pay yourself officially 400 euro, you pay officially 100 euro in taxes, and the rest is kind of tax-free. So that's pretty cool. More information, we can talk about it later. Some projects that I did, just to kind of sum up, like what did I do? We had one company, Paslaptis Investments. In Netherlands, nobody knows what it is. In Lithuania, it means secret investments. Everybody there started laughing about me. I didn't know. We used Google Translate to make the name. So we consulted a lot of SME companies, some local companies. One of them was Mars and Stars, Agne Maciukaite from Lithuania. You can check how warm country we have to talk with her a little bit later about Lithuania as well. She owns Mars and Stars Art Studio and makes different pillows and a world map pillow. We did a great Kickstarter product with her. So we put our more senior team on a Lithuanian company, and together it was a very, very nice synergy. For American investors, which was hard to get the business started, but after it started, they invested in one floor to divide it into SME companies. At the moment, there was not enough business space for small companies, so this was a really, really nice move of them. So we helped them to facilitate the whole floor and cut it into 9 small businesses. And at the end, what I'm doing at the moment is that we are helping people all over the world to start into financial trading. And Lithuania is our headquarters. It's our financial and taxation headquarters, but we work in 25 countries. So it's really cool. We work, we travel a lot. I do 4 or 5 countries per month, and we just help other people and teach them how to trade. So it wasn't that easy, but it's worth it. And this was the castle. It's still there. It's pretty nice. And to finish up, these are my contact details. You can also grab my business card at the end. And I want to thank you all. And if there's any questions, you can always ask.